Hi, and welcome to my movie review channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Wicked. This is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, uh, hit pause, go see the movie, and then come back and watch this. But yeah, I'm going to get into some spoilers. But I do encourage you to subscribe to my channel, ML Movie Reviews, on YouTube so you can get alerts as to when my next reviews are coming up. And it's free of charge, of course. So I want to start off with talking about my first and second time watching this movie. So the first time I saw this movie with my wife, we went to, I believe it was AMC Topanga. We got there close to starting time. This movie starting time was 6 p.m. And went to the concession stands to see if they had the popcorn buckets because I've liked to collect the popcorn buckets. I had experience with the Deadpool Wolverine. They sold out like pretty fast for me to get, so I just wanted to make sure I got these popcorn buckets. I saw that there were two different ones for Wicked and one for Gladiator. So okay, I'm gonna get all these popcorn buckets because I just don't want them to sell out. So I'm sitting there waiting with three popcorn buckets, three things of popcorn, and the two collector's cups for the Wicked. There's two different cups as well. So I have to wait for my wife to get up to the concession so she can help me bring it to the car, put it in, we go to the movie. So all this took about, let's say, about 20 minutes. So I'm thinking the movie's gonna probably start really at 6:25, 6:30 at the latest because that's how AMC is. They always play a whole bunch of like trailers on the Nicole Kidman thing, and so I'm sitting there like in the movie theater and I'm like, is this movie start already? And so the movie actually started. Like we got in at about 6:20 and there was already at the part of the movie where Galinda does the flashback to what happened in the past. So I was a little bit confused at first. I thought, what is this? But like apparently we missed the first 5 minutes of the movie. But I did end up going to see the second time, and of course I saw the beginning of the first part. So now I've seen the whole movie. So let me get to my review. So likes, I thought the two leads were fabulous. I thought Cynthia and Ariana were great in their roles. Cynthia plays Alphaba, of course, who later becomes the Wicked Witch of the West. And Ariana plays Galinda, who changes her name to Glinda during the movie. Yeah, I thought Ariana, obviously, she's a singer, so we knew she was going to deliver on that. But also, I thought her comedic timing was great. I thought she was really funny. I mean, she basically plays like this, how do you put it, surface level, elitist type character who's, very popular. Obviously, there's a song called Popular. And she basically is, at the beginning of the movie, she's really antagonistic towards the Cynthia character, played by the Alpha character played by Cynthia. And so, like throughout the movie, she does these little things, like she's like doing the flirtation thing with her hair, which I thought was funny. Yeah, there's like so many things about her that I really enjoyed just watching her perform in this movie. I thought their chemistry was great. They set up this dichotomy between the two main characters. You have the Ariana character who represents like privilege, the rich, the popular, versus the Cynthia character who represents the disenfranchised, the poor, the outcast. So they really um, have that dichotomy there, but then they eventually become friends. Like probably towards the first second act of the movie, there's a key scene where the Ariana character, she is, how do I put this? She's being mocking. She wants to mock her. She likes to make fun of the Alphabet character in front of her other friends. So she sees like this hat, which of course we recognize as the witch's hat, and she says, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this hat because she it's like one of those things where she wouldn't be caught dead wearing, and she's like kind of give it to her as a mocking way." But when Ariana's character Galinda gives the hat to Alphaba and invites her to the ball, that was a really turning point in that relationship because that's when Alphaba, she basically goes to bat for Galinda's character with Morbo, played by Michelle Yeoh. So basically, uh, Ariana's character, she wants to be trained by Morbo because she thinks he's this great wizard or sorcerer, and she wants to learn from her. But Morable's not really interested in teaching Ariana. She doesn't has no faith in her at all. She's just nothing. She's just a surface level whatever type person. But Morble's more interested in training Alphaba because she's obviously saw her power. And obviously later on in the movie we find out that they're going to need that power to for her to read that magical book and turn the monkeys into flying monsters and stuff. But anyway, so when Alphaba she gets the hat, she says, "Okay, I'm gonna go to bat for my friend," because she did a good gesture for her. She goes and goes to bat for her, and then so Ariana's character doesn't know this until they're at the party, and then Michelle Yeoh's character tells her like, "Yeah, look, I'm just only giving you this wand because Alphaba wanted me to, because I don't want to lose Alphaba," and so that's when that she started to turn Galinda. And so when she sees Alphaba, she's like dancing along by herself. Everyone's making fun of her. Like she's not participating. She says this is wrong. And even the male guy, I think his name is Fiyero, he's like, well, why are you upset? Why you feel guilty? It's not your fault. I mean, it was her fault because she set this whole thing up. And so that's when she turns and towards a more friendship with the Alphaba rather than this antagonistic, bullying type relationship that they had before. So I thought that was a really good scene, how that all played out. I thought another key turning point in their relationship was when Alphaba invites Glinda at this point to go meet the wizard. So this is another one of those funny things that Glinda does. So she what happens is the professor is like a goat. He's like a talking goat, and like one of the subplots in the movie is that there's this plot to basically keep the animals from speaking, to keep them from like in teaching positions and stuff, and powerful positions, and eliminating them, and just basically keeping them in cages rather than having them speaking and stuff. So one of the goat character, he's like the professor, and then during one of the lectures they take him and kidnap him, and then Alphaba's like, what's going on? This is like injustice, this is wrong. So of course Galinda, she sees that this guy that she's interested in, Fiyero, he was upset about the professor being taken too, and the show's like, oh, I was upset too. Yeah, I'm gonna be in solidarity. I'm gonna, change my name from Galinda to Glinda. It's like one of those things. It kind of reminds me of like people who see like injustice in the news and they just go out there and tweet about it, like they're like some doing something brave or something, sending like a tweet or something like Black Lives Matter or something like that. Like I don't know. It just felt like one of those type of moments. So anyway, that was the time point when she changed her name to Glinda, and then so when Alphaba invites her to go see the wizard, that's when she basically decides, look, I'm not going to go after this guy who's clearly, she can see that he's not, he's kind of aloof. He's losing interest, and she's more about supporting her friend. Like obviously, Galinda wants to meet the wizard too. There's some self interest there, but she also wants to be there for her friend in her big moment as well. So I thought that was an important part in their relationship. And then finally, of course, in the end, when after Alphaba finds out that basically the wizard set this whole thing up, like first of all, he has no power. He needs Alphaba in order to basically maintain control over people because he has no power, and he's the one who set up, the the abuse of the animals, or the plot to basically paint a target on these animals, because people in power, just like in society, like the people in power, they're the ones who are causing all the harm in society, but they need scapegoats like immigrants, black people, people of color, stuff like that, in order to mask what they're doing, and to basically say, hey, look, this is the problem, and to avoid who the real problem is, like the people in the power, like the wizard. So that's the point where I'm sorry, Alphaba's going to say, hey, look, I don't want any part of this. I'm taking this book and I'm flying away. I'm going to try to fly away. But she extends her hand to her friend, like, hey, come with me. Just like she came with her at the beginning at the dancing scene, and when she came with her to get on the train to go meet the wizard. But this is the moment, this was like, Galinda's like, no, I'm basically not going with you. She basically wants to stay in this like surface level life, but she wants Alphaba to be with her, She's even trying to convince Alphaba that, hey, look, like, hear the wizard out, like. So I thought that was an important part of the relationship. But I thought the Alphabet character obviously was good. It goes back to the very beginning of the flashback where someone posed a question. I think it was someone who posed a question to Glenda, or she asked the question: Are people born bad or made good? Well, obviously, this movie is saying that people are born bad and made good. I mean, clearly, uh, Alphaba's a good character throughout the movie from the time of her birth. Even at the time, at the end of the movie, like, I didn't see Alphaba do anything bad. Like, when she's using her magic, she's not using it intentionally. It just comes out of her. She has no control over it. It's like when the injustice happens, that's when the magic comes out. Whether it's with her sister, with the talking animals. So I didn't really see any badness in her character, but I didn't see her become bad either. So that's probably what part two is about, which I'm just guessing here. I didn't see the play at all, so I'm just guessing that's what we're gonna get in the next movie, because I don't have a strong recollection of the Wizard of Oz. Obviously, I've seen it before, but it's been years. I'm familiar with Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Man, the Lion. And I'm really familiar with the Wicked Witch of the West being wicked, like a Mount Rushmore level type, villain. But obviously, we're not getting that Wicked Witch in this movie, so I'm just not sure if this movie is leading towards that, which it kind of seems like it is, because remember it says people born bad or are they made bad? Or there's another possibility though, because what happens is, the Morrible character played by Michelle Yeoh, she basically calls her wicked, like, again, it's making her the scapegoat, right? Instead of the literal goat being the scapegoat, is now the wicked Alphabet's character. She's calling her the Wicked Witch of the West because she's saying she's the one who's basically causing all these problems and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does raise a question as to whether or not this is going to be one of those things where it's like one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter, or are we really going to get, like, yeah, she does actually become wicked and evil. We just saw what her origin was like in this movie. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to part two to see what happens. Again, I haven't seen the play, and I don't want to hear about the play. I just want to see the movie when it comes out, and then judge it by its own. I thought the songs were good. I really like the Dancing Through Life song. And I studied, like, philosophy a long time ago, so I'm familiar with the quote from Socrates, who says, the unexamined life is not worth living. And immediately I picked up on that when the Fiyero character, he was starting the song with Dancing Through Life, and he says, to learn to live the unexamined life. So it's a play on Socrates. It's like the opposite of Socrates, right? It's like, be living in this surface level, like, go out and dancing, have fun, not think about things. So I thought that was really important because it showed his character, right? Like, he lives like this surface level life, but it's like he has some depth with him on the inside, but it's like he has to suppress it because he feels like he needs to live like this dancing life in front of other people. So, and then of course that Alphabet's character kind of brings that out of him, the more deep person, when the thing happens with the Professor Goat. So yeah, I really like that song, and of course, "I'm Not That Girl." I mean, that was such a heartbreaking song, sung by Cynthia. Yeah, so the songs were great. I thought the visuals were great, the cinematography. Negatives, I don't have much negatives to say. It would just be like nitpicking stuff. Like, I didn't think the background characters were too strong. In fact, when I was first watching the movie, I was like, "Oh no, is this gonna be one of those cheap made for TV Disney movies?" Because that's how the acting felt, like, at least with the background characters. But of course, as the story was started to develop, and the relationship between Galinda and Alphaba, then I started getting into the movie. I thought the movie was kind of long, so it's hard to go out and watch repeat viewings of it in the theater. I did see it in Dolby twice, but it's just hard to watch it again because it's like just so long, like over like 2.5 hours or something like that. But overall, like, I really loved the movie. I think it's one of the best of this year. I think it's easily going to get an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, acting. The thing about the acting though is, like, I thought both of these characters were leads. I mean, I thought the Alphabet was the lead character, but Galinda is also like a lead character too. But I think the question with the Oscars is, are they going to nominate both of these as lead? Because if both get nominated as leads, one's not going to win. So do you do that, or do you say, hey, I nominate Cynthia for lead and um, Ariana for supporting actress? So I don't know what they're going to do. I wouldn't be mad either way. I mean, personally, I want to see them both win, but we'll see what the other performances are by the end of the year and see ultimately who deserves to win that award. But cinematography should be a nom, as well as adapted screenplay. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the movie. Let me know what you thought after you've seen the movie. And until then, next time. Thank you.